we are all ready to go ahead and get started with your examination this evening. Thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on today? I heard you were having some difficulty with your ear.
Yeah, I was cleaning my ears with Q-tips, and I believe I pushed some wax into my ear instead of getting it out of my ear. So it's not fully clogged, but I can tell that there's some blockage. Kind of like water's in my ear feeling.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's the left ear, correct?
Yes, it is.
And is that the only side that you're feeling this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. About how long ago did this happen?
It's been about 4 days now.
4 days, okay. Have you noticed any improvement, or does it feel about the same?
The same.
The same. Do you frequently use Q-tips to clean your ears?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you ever seen an otolaryngologist before, or otherwise known as an ENT or an ear doctor?
Not recently, but I believe I have, yes.
Okay. Do you remember what that was for?
It was just a post-concussion thing that I had.
Got it, okay. So they were probably checking to make sure your equilibrium and everything was still intact.
Yes.
Okay. About how long ago was that concussion?
It's been a year now.
A year, okay. Are you following up with a neurologist for that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so just to conclude, it looks like you're feeling a little bit of fullness, possibly some water, and you believe you may have impacted your earwax with a Q-tip.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So I'll be going over a couple of things with you. Are you in any pain right now?
No.
No pain? Okay. Any abnormal earwax with this, James? Any earwax that's coming out on the external side? Bloody earwax, abnormal discharge from the ear, anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, that's very good. Any pain in your jaw?
No.
Okay. Pain in your neck, side of your neck?
No.
And you haven't noticed any swelling of your lymph nodes or anything where your neck feels sore? Kind of like when you have an infection?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Sore throat?
No.
Okay. That's very good. Okay. All right, James, so we can go ahead and get started with your examination. So I just wanted to go ahead and get those questions out of the way. That way I have a little bit of a better idea of what might be going on.
Okay.
Now, of course, I'm going to start with a visual inspection. That way I can just kind of have a look, see if there's anything that we need to be cautious of today.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and begin by having a look in your ear. So I'm just going to start by putting on a pair of gloves. Alright, James, so let's go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do is just begin by having a brief look in your ear. So, just looking for any signs of abnormality externally. So looking for any discoloration or flaking of the skin, anything that could indicate an infection that may have spread to the outer ear. Also looking for anything externally that may be causing the issue. So sometimes we have infections like dermatitis, possible yeast infections that can protrude inside the ear, thereby infecting the earwax. So just looking to make sure that there's nothing super noticeable, which so far I'm not seeing. Everything looks okay. So I'm going to be feeling around your ear and your face just a little bit, performing what is called a manual palpation. So you're going to feel me moving my fingers around various sides of the left side of your face. I'd like you to just indicate whether or not any of this is painful, okay? So as I move down kind of your temporal region here, are you experiencing any pain or discomfort?
No.
Okay. And how about here, like above your cheek? No. Okay. Any pain underneath the jaw?
No.
Okay. Very good. And the side of your neck here, no pain?
No pain.
And if I push gently behind your ear, any pain or pressure here?
No pain.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so as I palpate around the ear itself, any discomfort here? So your ear is a little cold to the touch. I'm just going to feel the other side. Okay. So this side is a little cool too, so probably nothing to worry about there. Okay. Can I just have you open your mouth for me? Go ahead and close and open and close. One more time for me and close. Very good. Are you able to move your jaw side to side? Very good. And if I could have you bite down. Perfect. Okay. So just making sure that this ear pain isn't anything secondary to like a TMJ or what would be an issue with your jaw. Okay. Have you been experiencing any headaches recently?
No, I haven't.
Okay, very good. So aside from the feeling of fullness or like water in your ear, you wouldn't say that you're experiencing any other adverse symptoms at this time?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, very good. All right, James, so I am going to go ahead and have a bit of a closer look. So give me just a second while I get my otoscope set up here. Okay. So this tool is called an otoscope, and essentially it's just going to allow me to have a bit of a closer look with a light, okay? So you're going to feel something insert your ear canal, and to start with, I'm just going to have it placed on the very outer part just so that I can have a look. Okay. So I am seeing a little bit of that earwax here that you were talking about. So it does appear that you may have accidentally pushed some earwax further into your ear than what we would like to see. The good news is I don't believe I'm seeing any sign of infection, so the earwax itself is normal in color. Appears to be normal in texture as far as I can tell. And it's nothing that I would say is going to require any prescription antibiotics, so that's very good news. but we will need to go ahead and get that out for you today, okay? So unfortunately, impacted earwax is pretty common among Q-tip users. And what I would suggest is to avoid using them altogether if possible. If you are going to use Q-tips, I will demonstrate a way that you can use them safely. Now, when you're utilizing these Q-tips, are you using them to remove earwax or just to kind of dry out your ears, say after a shower?
Yes, the second one, just to dry out.
Okay. So in that case, I would say you are probably safe to use them, but I will go ahead and demonstrate a safer way. That way you can make sure this doesn't happen in the future, okay?
Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, James, so I would say we can go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is just start by placing this sterile cloth down underneath me. And this is simply going to allow me to ensure that I'm not contaminating the area. So if I can have you just lift your head for me. Perfect. Go ahead and relax. Does that feel okay?
Yes.
Thank you. So this just gives me a little bit of a working surface here, as well as some paper towels. Perfect. Okay. And I'm just going to place this behind your ear just like that. Okay. Alright, does that feel okay?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So let's go ahead and start by cleaning the external portion of the ear. Just have a couple supplies that I'll be using, the first of which is a syringe that contains sodium chloride, also known as salt water. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to be applying just a drop of our antiseptic solution. Perfect. Okay. So I have a sponge-like tool here that I'll be using to clean up the external portion of your ear. Okay. So, do apologize. This is going to be just a little bit cold, okay? Just cleaning your ear on the outside, making sure to remove any debris. Any dead skin cells. We tend to get a buildup of dead skin cells and dust in this upper corner here. So just make sure to really effectively also going to clean behind your ear. Okay. So I'm going to use this little tool, and essentially it's just a silicone scrubber that's going to allow me to exfoliate your ear. So just ensuring that I remove any excess dead skin or debris that could be lingering. Anything that increases the risk for infection. You doing okay so far?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say we probably are okay to proceed. Now, I am going to just rinse quickly. Okay. So before we move on, I'm going to go in with another tool. And this is just a metal object. It has a little bit of a scooped kind of spoon-like end. And again, it's going to allow me to remove any of those excess debris that could be hanging around. So now that we've exfoliated and cleansed your skin, just using this tool to kind of scrape away at the surface of the skin very gently, removing anything that could be hanging behind. Obviously being very careful as this tool is rather sharp. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and rinse the area. So I'm going to place down an MSS basin that's going to allow me to collect excess water. Just relax for me. You're going to feel a cold flush. Okay. And just going in with a suction to further remove any extra liquid. Very good. So you're doing very well. I know that can be a little bit uncomfortable. So before we move on, I'm just going to go in with our suction to make sure that we remove any excess liquid. So it is going to be a little loud. Bear with me for just a second, okay? Perfect, okay. You're doing very well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with a bit of an internal cleaning of your ear. Now, I don't think it's going to be too extensive, so when I peeked inside, I didn't see anything that was what I would say overtly abnormal. There is a little bit of that earwax buildup that we were talking about, okay? I'm going to go ahead and proceed with my otoscope once again. And this time I'm going to open the little window and it's going to allow me to insert tools into the lighted portion so that I can gain better access to your ear canal, okay? Just placing my otoscope into your ear. And okay, so just sit still for me. So you're doing very well. I'm just loosening the wax from the edges of your ear canal. Okay. So I have it to right about the edge. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this piece out and then we can get out the last little bit that's in there. Okay. So there's just a little bit more that's in there and I do want to make sure that I go ahead and remove it all. So just going back in this time just a little bit deeper. I do apologize, James, you're doing very well. I do just want to make sure that I go ahead and eradicate the problem for you today so you don't continue to experience this. So there's a little piece that's not quite wanting to come out. So what I'm going to do is, since I have it right at about the edge of your ear canal, I'm just going to go in with my tweezers. And I'm just slowly coaxing it out of the ear, being careful not to break off any of the pieces. And got it. Okay. Perfect. So just gonna go back in and have a look. And it does appear that I was able to remove that impacted wax for you. So that is great news. Very good. Okay. Okay, so you are doing very well, James. Hang tight for me. Just gonna go back in one more time with my tool here because I do see just a little bit of debris hanging out on the outside of your ear canal. Just gonna go ahead and remove that. Okay, very good. Alrighty. back in with that suction one more time. It's going to be loud for just a second, okay? Perfect, okay. Very good. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and flush the area one last time. So again, just placing my basin below the ear and very little water here, okay? Just using what's left over in my syringe. Okay, so just using this paper towel to dry the area. Are you feeling any relief there, James? Has some of that kind of fullness subsided a little bit? Okay, perfect. So it looks like your earwax was just kind of balled up and very lightly impacted, so it was sitting not too far inside your ear canal, but it was blocking it so that you were hearing maybe just a little bit of a muffled sound, kind of like when you go swimming and get water trapped in your ear. So luckily I was able to remove that for you today, and I don't see any reason that you would be experiencing any adverse reaction. So just making sure that I clean up all of that antiseptic solution that I used earlier. Very good. Alright, James, so what I want to do briefly is just do a quick test of your hearing, and I'm simply going to make a sound, and I would like you to just indicate to me whether or not you can hear it, okay? So to start, you're just going to say yes if and when you hear a sound.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
Good. So now I'd like you to tell me whether or not you hear it on your left or right side. So you're just going to say left, right, okay? Perfect. So now I'm going to make a sound. I'd like you to tell me when you start to hear it and when you no longer hear it, okay? So when the sound starts and when it stops.
Okay. I hear it. It stopped.
Good.
I hear it. It stopped.
Perfect.
I hear it. And it stopped.
Very good. Can you tell me if you feel a vibration here?
Yes.
Perfect. And here?
Yes.
Good. And lastly, do you feel vibration here?
Yes, I do.
Tell me when it stops.
It stopped.
Perfect. Very good job. So just making sure that your hearing is intact. And you can hear this on both sides.
Yes, I can.
Tell me when it stops.
It stopped.
Tell me if I'm moving closer to you or farther away.
Closer. Farther.
Good. What side is this on?
Right side. Left side. Left side. Right side. Both sides.
Very good, James. That's perfect. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to use a Q-tip appropriately, okay? So So I have just a standard Q-tip here. Now mine is a little bit longer than what you'd see probably at your local drugstore. It's used in the same way. So while I'd prefer you strictly use Q-tips externally, meaning that you use it to clean or dry this portion of your ear as well as this portion, you can insert this internally. Now, what I'm going to say about that is that you don't want to go any further than the cotton extends. So you do not want to insert this in your ear any further than there is cotton, okay? At no point should the wooden portion be going inside of your ear. And you do not want to be pressing like this. So in order to dry the water that's in your ear, you're going to do a very gentle swirling motion, and you should feel the outside of your ear at all times. So for example, if this is your ear canal, none of this, circular motions, and you should feel the outside circle at all times, okay? So just to demonstrate that for you, we're not going in any further than the cotton. You should feel the circle at all times. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, James. So you are good to go for today. I would like you to let me know if you have any adverse symptoms, if you start experiencing any pain or discomfort, if you feel any discharge protruding from your ear. Of course, if you feel any symptoms on the other ear, be sure to let me know. So what I'm going to do before you leave is put a little bit of a covering of your ear. Now this just kind of looks like a miniature hairnet. So this is for your ear, simply to protect it from any debris as it is in a more sensitive state since you just had a cleaning, okay? I'd like you to leave this on for 20 to 30 minutes and then you should be good to go ahead and take it off, okay? So I'm just going to place this over your ear. Like that, and you should still be able to hear me very clearly. It's not going to muffle your hearing. As stated, it is just going to protect your ear from any debris while it is a little more tender from being cleaned, okay? Okay. All right, James. Well, thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're feeling better and get home safely, okay? Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, call if you have any questions. All right, thank you very much.